Welcome back, everybody, as we continue here on Sports Talk. Oh, this next man, it's going to be great because we've got him hooked up via Zoom from his home, just like we are with our 600 ESPN El Paso Lubingo studios. He is the Foss, Steve Foster, from his home office. Oh, it's so great to see you. You've got your hashtag El Paso Strong shirt. You got your Trooper for Life on the side, Trooper Nation. There it is, Troop for Life, the number 4 life. Don't worry, people will get a chance to watch this segment after we're done. We're going to actually take this Zoom clip and we're going to go ahead and put it up on our YouTube channel. So people will see it. You're all decked out. You got your Eastwood High banner, your shirt. You're smiling from ear to ear. Man, oh man, you're ready. You're ready for this, aren't you?
I'm ready, man. I am surprised we just came up with this, Cappy. We always talked about being back in El Paso together and getting ready to do the show responsibly, social distancing proper. But this technology would have had us acting up a way, way earlier date than that.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And by the way, I got to ask you this. So I see 3 football photos on the wall behind you. One looks like a painting, and it kind of looks like Nebraska. You have to tell me about that.
Correct.
There's another vintage shot of a running back. I couldn't tell if that's Jim Brown or if that's the Foss from his Princeton days.
If you get me anywhere close to Jim Brown, I'll take it.
Well, it kind of has that old faded look. It looks like that old shot.
It has faded. Faded.
I can see. And then
Look
there's
at these, Cappy. Look at those over there.
There's more. There's more of you. That's great. It's all Foss all the time. That's nice.
Grad assistant Foss in Nebraska.
What is the shot in the background of you in a 3-point stance wearing a suit? What is that?
That's different. That is Austin Monthly's magazine when they had Dennis Quaid on the cover.
What year was this? What year was that from?
2003.
So it's 17 years ago. All right, 2003. Dennis Quaid on the cover of Austin Magazine. What does this have to do with you?
So they did a series called The Bachelors. We were the most eligible bachelors in Austin, Texas at the time. And one Corey Morrow and I part of that. And so that photo comes from the shoot, Cappy.
Oh my God. That is terrific.
Yes.
Look at you. Now, serious question. You're in a 3-point stance in a suit, okay?
Right.
You got that $1 million smile. The truth is this. How much did that article and that profile help your social life back in 2003?
At that time, I actually, interestingly enough, was asked by The Bachelor to come to Houston to be part of their group. They had spoken with the publisher of the magazine. However, I was a little apprehensive because I was meeting a woman who I actually wound up marrying in 2005.
Oh, wow.
And so I passed. It's actually interesting since she and I are no longer a couple. It's actually worked better now. Like it is maturated, and people have asked now. They're like, "Wow, you look kind of the same." Just So it's funny. I have been a part of the other Bachelor series that they've done for the magazine, and as an alum, it's actually worked better now after the fact.
You really haven't aged. The truth is, if I look at you then and look at you now, you haven't done much over the last 17 years. So what's the secret of the fountain of youth for you?
Cartoons on Saturday with a ice cold milk, big bowl of cereal.
Okay. So you're still living like a kid and you're not aging. That's a good sign. I like that. So that's the key more than anything else. What's your cereal of choice? What do you go for? Lucky
Charms, man.
Oh
I'm a Lucky Charms guy. I've always been a Lucky Charms guy.
Did your parents let you eat Lucky Charms as a kid? Because with mine, all I was able to get out of that was Rice Krispies and if I was lucky, Cheerios. And when I was really little, I had honeycombs. But I never had the fun stuff. I never had the marshmallows like you.
Yeah, Count Chocula is a close second. And in fact, they brought that back in the HEB stores here in the area. And I bought 2 boxes. It was 2 for $5. So I couldn't lose. And I had it. But my adult grown up cereals, you got to have tiers. I'm a Cinnamon Life guy, multi-grain Cheerios, and Special K. Now that they have the berries that can stay, they don't get soggy right at the beginning. So those, and then of course an honorable mention that I think everybody likes is Raisin Bran.
Not me. Never liked Raisin Bran. But I will say this: Special K with berries is my go-to. So that is my new favorite. Absolutely.
How about Frosted Flakes? Did you ever get a chance to eat Frosted Flakes? Because
I loved Frosted Flakes. Yes. I couldn't, but there was sugar content. I wasn't always getting Frosted Flakes. It wasn't always in the house all the time. For a while, my parents got on this health kick for us as kids, and we weren't able to get all the good stuff like we wanted to. So we had to eat. My dad was big on grape nuts, which I thought was like eating gravel.
I hurt my tooth trying to bite one of those, but I realized they told me, and of course, the mature man that your dad was, he knew it. You got to let them sit and soak in the milk.
That's true. They had to soften up. That's exactly right. By the way, have you noticed that as we start this Zoom call versus a normal phone interview, look at the topics we've talked about. Your bachelor profile from 2003, cereals you enjoyed, all these other topics that we would never normally get to, we're covering right now. So this is the advantage of Zoom calls. We get to go a little deeper and explore. It almost reminds me of like where we're continuing right where we left off when Dean Cain joined us. And by the way, we have to do this next interview with you and Dean on the Zoom. Then it'll be better because everybody will see each other. There won't be any interruptions. It'll be perfect.
Ingenious. Absolutely. Must have. We should do it this month because he's like the king of Christmas. He does the Hallmark and women just go crazy. Like Dean Cain, he's like in 10 Hallmark channel Christmas movies, and he is. So we need to do it this month where he's really got that impact on the young ladies, on the ladies, period.
That's true. We'll do that. We'll get Foss. I'm telling you, if we Zoomed it, and you imagine if we did a Zoom and a YouTube live at the same time, what that would be like. Oh my God. Women from all over the country would be joining in and the worst part is, they don't want to start talking to him during the interview. It would go away from sports and it'd be all about Dean. So, all right.
I've had that though, Cappy, since 1984. So I'm not, it doesn't offend me. It doesn't affect me. I know how the world is with that. I can exist well.
Now let's do this. I've got Adrian standing by with SportsCenter. Let's get the SportsCenter update here at the bottom of the hour. Then I want to talk Cowboys with you because whenever we talk Cowboys, we're over the phone. Now I can see the raw emotion. I can see the passion, the fire. I'm looking forward to it.
Baby.
NFL. You even have an NFL game ball with you. It's perfect. Look, the Foss has brought props to the show today. He has props, ladies and gentlemen. And you'll get a chance to see this later. We're going to get
seen. Yeah, why have something on video or something you can see and you give them no visual?
That's true.
Got to give them some visual.
And that's a Super Bowl ball, right?
No, this was the 100th anniversary ball from a season ago from the NFL.
How'd you get your hands on that?
Yeah, I know a few folks.
I figured as much. All right. More with the Foss right after Adrian in this bottom of the hour SportsCenter update as we continue. All right, Adrian, thank you very much. We're back right now with the great Steve Foster, who's joining us from his home office here on Sports Talk. All right, Cowboys, another game that's frustrating, which has been the whole 2020 season. They lose big to Baltimore. Andy Dalton doesn't have a terrible game, but of course, like we've seen all year, it's not enough. The defense struggled against the run. And Foss, this team is in dead last. And what's even more amazing is the Washington football team and the Giants are both tied for first at 5-7, while the Cowboys and Eagles are both in that free fall to the bottom of the division.
Right. Dallas is going to finish last, and Carson Wentz has lost his job. So that's the bottom half of the NFC least. unfortunately. And then you have a team with no logo, and my guy who the Cowboys let go is in first place, and on a 4-game winning streak. So yeah, maybe it wasn't Jason, huh? But I said this the other day. Cappy is not good. I said Dallas could probably beat the Bengals. Probably not the Bengals. I said, oh wait. I'm not talking about Susanna Hoffs. I'm talking about the guys in Cincinnati. That could be a problem. You know, Joe, if it was Joe Burrow, I would say, gosh, hands down, Cincinnati just cruises by. However, as we know, because we're a little more mature, Cappy, there's the Paul Harvey, the rest of the story. Andy Dalton's coming back to his former team, and there could be something that is now worth playing for, showing them I'm still viable. I'm still an NFL quarterback with talent. I've gone to America's team, and I can come back and beat you. Outside of that, I see no reason for them to really play hard.
Well, that's enough, though. That's enough to potentially get a win.
If they grab onto it.
Sure. But I mean, who has to grab on most? Dalton. And if everybody feeds off of Dalton, then that can happen. I mean, let's be honest. You look at the remaining schedule. This is the game that if this team was ever going to try to at least salvage what has been a disaster, it would start this weekend against Cincinnati.
You would hope so. This is the trampoline that you're looking for in your season to bounce up high and make it work. You just you get so it's a good place for them. Unfortunately, I don't think either the Eagles or the Cowboys could catch Washington or New York. That's crazy.
It is crazy. But the way they're playing, I mean, Washington's defense looks amazing. They look better under Alex Smith than they've looked with anybody under center this year. I mean, and look what the Giants did. Colt McCoy came in at quarterback, but he did enough to win. And look who they beat. Washington beats the undefeated Steelers. The Giants go into Seattle and beat the Seahawks and Russell Wilson. Meanwhile, the Cowboys had their chance in Baltimore to do the same thing to the Ravens after Dez gets a false positive that's exactly what we said the night it happened. When I heard rapid test, all I thought was Dez Bryant was a victim of what hit 10 UTEP players before the Houston game, before the Rice game in Houston, where they had 10 positives, all turned out to be false positives because of the rapid test. And exactly that has been the case. But without Dez, Baltimore had no trouble. They beat the Cowboys. They dedicated the win to him. And, the Cowboys, again, are just sinking deeper and deeper into this NFC East. Was there anything you took away from the game on Tuesday that was a positive for the Cowboys?
No one got hurt. I mean, I'm just trying to, Zerline missing field goals. It was crazy. I'm like, you could have just kept Maher and just, moved on. You go get this, it seems like every other organization knows when to fold them on people, and the Cowboys have picked. It's not like my Oakland Raiders of old where they recycled, Jim Plunkett from the Patriots. He goes and wins a couple of Super Bowls. They're not getting that bounce back production from these cast-offs. Now, again, it's still, to me, it starts at the top and works its way down. And you see even a first-year coach in Joe Judge who has, the Belichick-ism and Ron Rivera, who took the Panthers to the Super Bowl. It seems to me they have a much better command of their team.
Absolutely. They do. And that's the problem right now. Do you think, again, I think I've asked you this question before. Do you believe McCarthy, regardless of what happens, is out of a job after this season? Is this a one-year deal from McCarthy, or do you think that Jerry will want to see what he can do with Dak for a full season?
Well, again, I think the question is, who are you going to replace him with? Now, if you can get old boy from San Francisco, their D coordinator, if you can get Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City, yeah, I would make a move, because I think that shows a predominantly Black league in those players. Okay, now Jerry's serious about this. We didn't quit on Jason. Something happened. We just didn't get over the hump. but this guy's coming off a Super Bowl win. This guy's coming off a Super Bowl appearance. They're good. I think for this team or this group of players, you need a quarterback. I don't care. I mean, a head coach. I don't care what color it is, that can relate better. I just don't think Mike McCarthy relates and translates well to this Cowboys team.
I'm with you. Okay. So all being said, I think you kind of hinted on this earlier. You see them beating Cincinnati. It might be a close game, a fun game, but you think when it's all said and done, Cowboys get the win?
They should. They should.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Now, we're not on tomorrow because it's UTEP football. They're playing North Texas in Denton, and that's going to be their regular season finale. But I'm excited to see what happens next week with you back with us on this. This has been a lot of fun. We've enjoyed this. It's been a great segment. And I know you love El Paso. You love Eastwood. You love just sending shout outs to everybody. Is there
we're the 1-6A undefeated champs, man. And I know Montwood was supposed to be, that, but we got past them in overtime. Just a great job. I'm just glad that, and kudos and hats off to the administrations in El Paso to allow these student athletes to compete. Eastwood was runner-up in 6A in cross country, and I know other schools have done well, but that's a hard-working group of adults keeping things right, where all you hear in Austin about El Paso is like, we're the worst city COVID-wise in Texas. And I mean, there's outbreaks and pandemic, to the nth power. And El Paso is just, under siege when it comes to COVID. But then when I see these things happen and I see the community rising above all of that to be successful, I have to say, there's my hometown again, Cappy. Overcoming what people were saying are almost insurmountable odds. So It makes me feel good as an El Pasoan, wherever I am outside of the 915, to say, well, it's a hell of a city. And in fact, I think I'm a hell of a representative of that city. And I've been East Coast, Midwest, West Coast, what have you. And I think I've gotten an invitation back, and I've contributed mightily. So El Paso has nothing to hang its hat on in shame. I'm disappointed to hear the Sun Bowl won't be played. But you have to be smart. And if we take one off, be smart so you don't get the bad press.
Speaking of press, terrific for you. Great job today. Love the conversation. Let's do it again like this next Friday, and appreciate the time and the insight like you always deliver.
Hey, no problem. For home, anything. We got to set this deal up with Dean Cain, though, because he's Mr. Holiday Christmas, and this is his wheelhouse.
Okay.
And I think if you want, do you want me to find him over the next couple Fridays? You tell me. We can talk offline. We can talk offline and figure that out and see what we come up with.
Christmas with Cain. I think that's going to be a pretty good thing. Well, let's work on that and make that happen. All right. Thanks again, Foss.
Christmas with Cain and Santa Foss. Hey, Cappy, I love you. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the opportunity and time today. And everybody at home, be safe.